Views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
Here I am, standing at the door, looking back at life as it's been before, holding on to things that might have been, knowing that this day will never come again, as my spirit's guiding me.
Hi, this is Lainey Risto, and you're watching. What are you watching? Oh, Soul Chat. I don't even know my own show anymore. Yeah. And my guest co-host this week is
Wayne Hildebrand.
There you go. Look how he dove right in there, you know. This week, Wayne's coming in because he's a Reiki master and a teacher, and he is the director and owner of Spirit Us Reiki Center. And
I am?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, you're paying
I
the bills.
I am.
Before we do that, I'm going to do the segment that we always do, which is, and I warned Wayne, so we'll see if he comes up with something. He swore to me he's got lists. So what I learned about myself this week. Well, what I learned about myself this week is how much I stay in my comfort zone, and then I wonder why the magic doesn't happen in my life. This is something that I heard my Native American friend, Sean Wayma, told me in a conversation that we had about 3 weeks ago. I was telling him about a problem that I was having, and I said, you know, I'm really tired of this. And he said, well, follow the magic. It builds trust.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, that's
good.
really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I was listening to something else. I went to a talk of an author who wrote a book about angels. And at the end of the talk, she talked about how if you really want to have magic in your life, that you need to get out of your comfort zone. Which I thought was, well, there it is again. And so I started looking at how are the ways that I stay in my comfort zone. Well, one of the ways is I tend to put off things that I don't like. People call it procrastination.
Oh, yeah, I got that one down.
Yeah. But what happens is my comfort zone is always having something I'm going to do. Always having something that I have to get done. Because if I got done, then I would create all this time. There would be some extra space to do stuff I keep saying I want to do.
Time?
Yeah,
There
that's
would be
it.
time?
Yeah. In this reality, there would be time. So I started looking at that, and consequently for the last 3 days, it looks like somebody put paper in a tornado and let it go right through the middle of my den in my bedroom. I've got paper everywhere.
Oh, mine's underwear.
Oh,
They're
I don't.
everywhere.
Okay, that's too much information. Yeah, but you're a guy. That's always true.
Socks, underwear,
Yeah.
T-shirts, they're everywhere.
But the point is that my comfort zone. You think, well, it's because I'm comfortable. Well, you are comfortable, but it's interesting to be comfortable about something that holds you back, because it keeps you from going forward.
All right, I got nothing, man. You killed me. Thanks for that, Lane. You next time let me go first.
Yeah. That's right. So I've been looking where I push the limits. The other thing is it's too easy for me to sit down in the morning with a cup of coffee and think, well, I'll just watch that show that was on last night that I missed because I was busy, because I need a break, right? And it's not that I don't need a break, but maybe there's something else that I could be doing that wouldn't take me out of my body, because watching TV really does take you out of your body.
Oh.
You know, I mean, I can be lost, especially if Star Trek's on. Yeah, George is over here nodding. And so what I'm going to do is I've been challenging myself. Am I comfortable because I really need to be comfortable right now, or am I using it at a place so I don't create magic?
Right.
And magic can be different for everybody. Right?
Right.
What about you?
Well,
Besides the underwear and the socks all over.
what more is there? That's comfort zone.
Yeah.
I went and had a conversation with a lady, and we were talking about spirituality, and she said that what she's discovered, that if you're true on the inside, like you're to be true on the outside, and you become one with yourself.
Well, that's deep.
It's super deep. So contemplate on that for about a week and think, okay, so if I'm true on the inside, if I'm a spiritual leader, if I'm a Reiki master and I'm doing all this, what am I on the outside? And I said, well, you kind of cheat on the food. You eat a little bit of cheese when you don't want to. These are things for me. I mean, eating cheese for somebody else out there is
Might
not
be
a
fine.
big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for me, because I know that I should be vegan, and vegan raw for health purposes, weight purposes, the whole thing. But that's a big issue for me. And then do I meditate at the right times? And then do I do this? And then I come up to, well, meditation at whose right time?
Right.
If I'm driving in my work truck, that's my right time. Now, you may need a half hour in front of your altar inside of your room, and I probably need that too. But I get more time in my truck. So
Yeah.
so then it's more of figuring, okay, so that's not my problem. I do meditate when I can. And
Are you one of those guys driving down the road meditating at the same time?
My eyes are closed and my
Oh,
fingers are
God.
locked and I'm up going. Well, that was
Good.
the other thing I had to discover, that meditation is not necessarily
No.
with your eyes closed and music going and you're just going in. You go into your own area and you're still conscious of what's around you, but you're speaking to Source, you're meditating with Source,
Right.
you're meditating with your guides, with your archangels, with your ascended masters, whoever you're meditating with or talking with. That's my form of meditation.
And I'm glad you brought that up because in the meditation terms everybody thinks of, they think of somebody sitting in the pose
Exactly.
on a mat with music going, like you said, just sitting there and completely clearing their mind, right?
Yeah.
Well, anybody that's listened to the show for more than once knows that I'm not one of those.
I'm not
I'm
one
a
of those.
walking meditator. My best times to meditate is I'm outside in nature walking the dog. And something about the rhythm and something about going forward. And I get some great insight from that. Sometimes I can sit and listen to if the wind's blowing, I can sit with my eyes closed.
Right.
And feel the wind, feel wind woman, and feel, listen, what are you whispering to me? What is it that I need to know right now?
Interesting.
But that being said, that whole thing, and I can journey like crazy. You've seen me do it.
Oh boy, I've been there.
But sitting to still the noise, I'm not there. I'm not at the graduate level on that. I'm definitely in kindergarten on that one.
Me neither. But we're told you have to sit down, put these headsets on, close your eyes, cross your legs in the right position, and put your hands flat on or straight up. That's not true.
Now, see, I have to say that when I was going through teacher training for shamanic teaching, it became very clear to me that I don't like rules.
Yeah.
It's too many rules.
Welcome to Wayne's World.
Too many words, too many rules, and I'm out.
Yeah. But the general public, a lot of people out there go by the rules. I'm a rule goer. I mean, you tell me something, I follow it to a T. And then I realize, wait a minute, that's not for me.
Yeah.
That's your rule. That's for you.
Yeah.
And, you come in and say, oh, yeah, I meditated for 45 minutes this morning. Then I got up and I went to the gym and then I came back and I said, yeah, I went to work. I got a job. So I meditated in the truck while I'm driving around town. I get my meditation. I get my talk. I get my, my spiritual connection. That's how I get it. Yeah. Now, sometimes in the evenings, I'll go back home. I'll put on the headsets. I'll lie down or sit down for a little bit, and I'll take in a 20-minute meditation to balance my chakras or ground me or whatever it is I'm doing. But this brain doesn't clear out to nothing.
Oh.
It chatters all the time.
Yeah,
and I got to keep throwing things out.
Except in the morning. I always tell people, don't call me before 10 because you may not hear anything coherent.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm just not a morning person. And people say, well, you can learn how to be the other way. Oh, probably, but why would I want to?
Exactly.
And I think, so what you learned about yourself was?
I learned about myself is how to balance, or at least work at balancing my inner and my outer, become the same as I am on the inside, what I feel I am, to what I really am on the outside, and people see, and people know, and I know. More important is what I know.
Yeah, that's really true.
That I become one with myself, that I'm just as much on the inside of where I'm at as I am on my outside.
Yeah,
so,
and they say the outside is the reflection of your inner world.
You can't have one without the other. They've got to be in sync. If they're not in sync, you're in chaos.
Right.
Doesn't mean I'm not still in chaos a little bit, but It just you have
Well,
to
if
be
you
in
ever
sync.
find out how to have no chaos, you'll call me, right?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
okay.
another journey.
Yeah. Okay, so that's this week's segment. What did I learn about myself?
Did
And we
I
survived.
pass?
You passed.
So good,
I don't
thanks.
know, George. Did he pass? He's nodding.
Flying colors.
Flying
Right,
colors.
there
He's the
you
real.
go.
He's the real pro
There
over
you
here.
go, guys.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to launch into Reiki, and if anybody got any of my notices that I sent out, and I know I sent one to Wayne, and he sent it to the rest of the world, and it was about Reiki. It was healing energy with love from the universe, because that's really what it is.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. If you're interested and you want to call in and have a question, or if you have a story, or if you know Wayne and you just want to say hi, you can call in at 702-609-7626. And if you're on Skype, you can type in All Talk Radio, one word. With that, we have a caller already? You're a popular guy.
Hoo-hoo, that's my peeps.
Okay, all right. Hel- I can hardly hear. Don't listen to the radio or don't listen to the screen, and just talk into the phone.
Okie dokie.
There you are. Hi, this is Lainey. Who am I talking to?
I am Wayne's nemesis.
Oh, is this Scott?
It is.
If you can turn your
We
back
talking
computer
about
down.
y'all going into the namaste. You're getting into my meditation part here. What's up with that?
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, I thought about you when I said that. I just don't have that. What Scott
I
has.
knew that.
Yeah, Scott will come to center. He'll go, yeah, I just had me a nice 45-minute meditation. I was out by the tree. And I'm like, yeah, I was driving around talking. I did good.
So Scott, turn down your the monitor back there. Turn down
Yep,
your.
it's all gone.
volume. Okay, great.
Yeah,
So,
all gone. All gone.
So are you calling in to tell us you're putting a class together just for Wayne and I, because we tend not to be the normal meditators?
Absolutely. You know what? There's like normal. I am leaving for Carlsbad Thursday to go and meditate with one of the masters, David G, and he's going to be
I've heard of
teaching
David.
me some really cool stuff that I'm going to bring back to the Spiritist Reiki Center. So,
Oh, very cool.
yeah. So, meditation is just about quieting the mind, and it's in that stillness, and you can totally get it when you are walking your dog in the park. I feel you. I'm doing the same thing. We're like in harmony there. We're really strutting and walking that beat, and you can meditate during that, absolutely. But there is a time and a place where you got to quiet the mind.
Yeah.
Got to quiet the chatter to get to that breath. To hear the breath, feel the breath. Feel that body, feel your movement, feel that energy flowing through you. And it only has to be like 5-10 minutes.
You know what?
It's just
Scott, would you like to come on the show with me sometime and we'll talk about meditation?
I would love to.
Okay, you heard it. We got witnesses, 2 witnesses. Yeah,
you go.
yeah, that's great.
I would love to. 'Cause
Oh,
you're
so
awesome.
you're not gonna leave till Thursday. That means I'm gonna see you tomorrow night, huh?
No, I have to do a shamanic. I have to do some saging at the Center for Spiritual Living tomorrow. We're playing drums for the service tomorrow night. So
Are you doing?
Otherwise,
Is that the one on Harmon?
yeah,
Yes.
that's the one on Harmon. Otherwise, I would have been there. I would not have missed it. But I have to sage and beat drums.
Very cool.
There you go.
Very cool. I've
Yeah,
thought about. I'm always busy on Wednesday night, but I've thought about coming down and joining you guys, because you do that every Wednesday night, don't you?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Wayne.
Sure.
Hey, wait a minute. Here we go. Happy birthday to you.
Whatever. Thanks,
Happy
Scott.
birthday
I was hoping somebody
to
did.
you. Happy birthday, Mr. President.
I was going to say that's an
Happy
awfully male
birthday
Marilyn,
to
isn't it?
you. That was my Marilyn Monroe. She just channeled right through me. She
Thank
wished you a happy birthday.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, that's
Namaste, my
great.
brother.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you.
Rock on, Lainey. Love what you're doing. Got to do, got a dash, got a class to go. Have a great show. Talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Goodbye, Scott.
Later,
All
Scott.
right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much.
I knew that before we walked in. I thought somebody's going to call in and wish him happy birthday. Let's talk about Reiki.
Let's talk about
Let's
Reiki.
talk about Reiki. I'm a Reiki master as well, but I came to Reiki many years ago, before it was even considered Reiki, before Reiki was popular on the West Coast. And then afterwards, after actually doing hands-on healing and energy moving like that, a friend of mine said, "You know what you're doing is Reiki," and I went, "Well, whatever. I've been doing this since I was in my 20s," and so at that time, that's when I got the attunements. And I was talking to someone last week, and told them that she's at the second level Reiki, and she goes, I don't know if it's working or not. And I said, well, the first one I got, it was kind of like, well, okay, that was a nice cup of coffee, right? And the second one, I didn't stop crying for 3 months. It's like everything came up that needed to heal. And the third one, I never intended to actually be a Reiki teacher, but I got it. I got the attunement anyway. I could if I want to.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. So tell us about Reiki. Give us a little bit of history about it, because I really want people to understand there's so many ways people can do it out there. But I like the way, I keep hearing good things about the way you teach.
Well, I teach Dr. Usui. Usui Reiki is what I teach, and it's what I've learned, and I haven't seen a reason to look at others yet. There's plenty of new ones popping up, new types of Reiki, But Reiki, for those of you who know nothing about Reiki, Reiki is universal life energy is what it is. The Rei and the Ki. The Rei is spirit, ghost, soul, and Ki is like Chi. It's Ki. It's energy. So it's universal life energy. What happens is you get an attunement by a Reiki master, and you can only be attuned by a Reiki master. So all these online programs that they have out there and all these $49 you can study, that's great. Study away. But you're still going to have to find yourself a Reiki master that's going to attune you, because when the attunement, what we do is we put the geometric symbols are tapped into you.
Energetically. You don't have a hammer and a nail.
No, we do have a hammer and a chisel.
Oh, really?
And it works really good. Now, we just tap it in. We symbol over your head. We tap it in. Then we tap it into your top of your crown. We tap it in the back of your head. And we tap it into the base of your skull. And then we come around for Reiki 1s. We put one symbol into your hands, and we tap that into you. And that is what lights up when you decide you're ready to go do Reiki. Your hands light up. They become heat. And this energy, to give it a basic, we can go a long story, or I can just tell you, energy life source comes down from the universe. It comes in your crown, and it comes out the palm of your hand. You can't force it to come fast, slow. It comes at its pace, and it does what it needs to do. You're the middleman. You're the conduit. You're
the bridge.
You're just the bridge there to let it come through you. And as it comes through, Reiki is one of those you can't hurt somebody with it. If you put it in the wrong spot, if you're holding on their knee and the aches in their elbow, Reiki will travel up to that elbow. A lot better if you put it right on the elbow.
Yeah. So you're really, like you said, it's really about being a conduit for this universal energy that's around all of us.
We're just the middlemen.
We're just the middlemen. That's right.
Don't get an ego. Don't get all cocky about it. You're the middleman.
No.
They do. Spirit does the work. The universe, and it's not a religion. So if I say God today, it's because to me it's my God. To you, it could be the universal energy,
the creator.
The creator, the source, whatever you want to call it. Whatever religion you are, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
It works on all lines.
When I was first doing Reiki, and I'm sure you've got a story that can match this, and I would love for you to say it. There was a woman that I worked on many years ago. This is when I was doing it. And she came to me. She'd been in a car accident. It was a horrific accident, and that left her with small pieces of glass embedded in her kidneys. It was pretty intense. And she had a problem urinating. She couldn't always urinate when she wanted to. And it was an issue. She just could not do it. And she said, "Can you do anything? I've been to all kinds of people." And I went, "I have no idea if I can do anything, but I know this energy, it's not going to hurt anything, so let's do it." So I did about an hour on her. And she went home, and about 3 hours later, she called, and she said, "I have no idea what you did, but I can't stop peeing. I have to go."
That's exactly the way it works.
That's exactly the way it works.
And it's because she wanted it to work.
That's right.
She was pure at heart, knowing that you were going to help her and this was going to work, because she could have blocked you.
Well, she was open.
Yeah, you have to be open.
And the openness also includes not knowing if it's going to work, but being open enough to allow it to come in to actually work.
Yep.
Because that's the big
I'm
deal.
100% agreeing.
Yeah.
And my story
Yeah.
is I had a 65-year-old woman that was having backaches. So I did distance on her, and for those of you who don't know what distance is, for me, what I do is I go in and I bring you to me. So I kind of bring your soul over to me, and I lay you out on a full bed when I'm doing it. You can bring them over and put them in your hand and work in the hand. There's many different ways of doing distance. For me, I always did, they come over on this table that I get to move around. Anyway, so after I opened all her chakras up, I was able to flip her over, and Spirit actually opened her whole spine up for me. So I was able to look at her spine.
Now, are you visual? Are you a very visual person?
100% visual.
That's right. We
Yeah,
talked about
100%
this, didn't we?
visual.
Right.
So they show me, and when they did that, they then had me do the psychic surgery. So that's when we, in Masters, you learn how to extend your fingernails, and they become long fingernails. And they had me scratch her back like a cat, and they just had me doing it with my hand, my palms up. Then they had me do it with my palms down.
Now, you were here in Las Vegas, and where was she?
She was at the other end of Las Vegas.
So she was in Las Vegas, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Next room or Australia.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's the same thing. So when I got done, I sealed her back up, and we cleaned her and did everything. She called me the next morning. She goes, you know what? She said, I got out of bed to go to the bathroom. I didn't grab the nightstand. I didn't grab anything. I got up, went, came back, and laid down and said, oh, my God, my back's not hurting.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago. And this day, she will tell you, because she's my biggest supporter, that she has no pain. She's still arthritis-free in her spine. So that's one of thousands. I mean, there's so many stories.
Yeah. And people will say, well, how does that work? That's got to be voodoo, or how does that work? And the truth is outside of this reality, there is no time. Time is a man-made thing.
That's it.
It's what we actually developed. Believe it or not, and we've talked about this on another show, is that in the old days, people's time frame was when the sun came up and when it went down, and they had so much they could get done in between. But it wasn't until we started running the trains across the country where we were going faster than we could walk or ride a horse that we needed to know, well, if I get on at noon and I get what's 3 o'clock my time, what time is how will people know when to get on the train?
Right.
So that's when it all started.
Right.
And outside of that, outside of this reality, the physical laws of the universe don't apply.
There's no such thing in this area. There's no such thing as a future, a past, a present.
It's all happening at the same time.
It's all happening
hard
now.
to wrap your mind around it.
We can go back and work on your past. We can go back and work on your future. To get it. There's so many things that can be done. There is no time.
There is no time. And that being true, we're working outside of time and space as we know it. So I can work on somebody in Seattle, and I've done it. I've done remote healings, working shamanically on people in San Francisco. Now, you're visualizing the body. I'm not that visual.
I got it.
I'm a kinesthetic auditory person. I have this lion, this wooden lion. It's about this. He looks like a Pinocchio thing. And he just lays out on the table for me, and then I do what I need to do that way. So it is kind of a psychic surgery kind of thing. It's an energetic thing, and I don't know about you, but both stories are. I have a lot of people that come to work with me because they've tried everything. And it seems like they need to get to that point to be open.
That's what it pretty much goes. When they come to you, they're pretty well hurt. We have a lady at the center, Helen, who has had fibromyalgia.
Oh, that's such a problem.
She couldn't open bottles. She couldn't get dressed. Take showers. I know you're listening, Helen. Sorry, I have to tell you a story.
Spirit of Helen just came in the room. Okay.
I know. I feel her going, oh, you go, Wayne.
Yeah.
So she come into our center, and we did a couple healings on her. She's come and laid on the crystal bed for her healings, and she is 100% free of pain, 100% free. Matter of fact, next month she's going to start teaching, have like a forum class for fibromyalgia people that can come in.
Oh, how cool is that?
And then we're going to have Reiki masters around them that can do the healings where they're having their forum and their talks.
Right.
So it works on all forms of stuff. I mean, you name it.
And is there anybody I heard a rule. I'm kind of jumping around here, but I heard a rule that I heard the rule and I thought, seriously, that you needed to find out if they had, was it diabetes?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah. Okay. So, what they say, and buy it
'Cause
if you want, buy it if you don't want. You
I
know.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
because Reiki works in any directions. So, I was taught by my Reiki masters, if they're diabetic, start from the feet and work your way up. So, and if you're not diabetic, just start from start the chakra down. So basically, if you're going to open the chakras, you open the root first if you're diabetic. And if you're not, you start from but it doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we
I don't
teach
think
our
it does
students
either.
the same thing, and it's just like a cautionary thing because I was taught it, but it doesn't matter.
Well, and people have heard me say this before, both people maybe on the show and also in the healing circles. I have 3 rules that I live by.
Oh,
The
boy.
first one is first do no harm to myself or anybody else. And myself has to be in there.
Okay.
The other one is the prime directive. Don't mess with somebody else's evolution if they don't ask for it.
That's it.
You know. And the third one is everything they say on the airplane before they take off. Know
Really?
your exits.
Fasten your seat.
Fasten your
Put your
seatbelt,
luggage on top.
Put your
what-
luggage on top, and put your own gas mask on before
There
you
you
try
go.
and help somebody
That's-
else.
that is so important
And the
right there.
rest of it, to me, if I can just adhere to those, I'm doing well.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you.
You know, I'm sure we have somebody could call in and say, "All right, you guys are cracked," you know.
Yeah,
well, we
no,
are,
and,
but
and I agree because I do teach for the diabetics to go the other direction only because I'm too afraid not to. But as you evolve, you're realizing I don't see what the difference is because I was diabetic for a while and it didn't matter either way.
You're not
you know?
diabetic anymore?
I did a raw food. I went raw food for 40 days, lost 46 pounds, and dropped my diabetes down to about.
Yeah, there's a lot of
85,
stories
90.
about that. There's a
Yeah,
lot
raw
of stories
foods is
like
another
that.
whole category.
Whole
you know?
thing, another whole thing. Yeah.
So
So, is there anybody that can't use Reiki? Let's go that way.
Nobody.
Okay.
nobody. Reiki is for everybody. There's no training necessary once you receive your attunement. Reiki's in your hands for the rest of your life. Be it your Reiki 1, Reiki 2, you learn 3 symbols, and that helps you to do the distance. You can still do distance with Reiki 1, but you can't do it to the extent you can as Reiki 2 with the symbols, because you're sending them just energy and love as Reiki 1. So you're basically sending them your Reiki energy to them. But as Reiki 2, with the symbols, you're able to take your wooden Pinocchio and work on them, and work on them piece by piece. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Except I was just thinking, because I just did a remote shamanic healing, but then it's the same energy, but it just in shamanism we're working with nature, we're working with the web of life. If
Right.
that's the form that comes to me. Now, I do use Reiki. A lot of times I'll use it at the end. Once I've pulled the roots out of whatever it is I'm going after, or whatever it is I'm dealing with, I will come in with Reiki at the end and just kind of, it's like pouring maple syrup on everything. It's like making sure everything's
There you go.
balanced and it's all where it needs to be.
We've found, and talking to more people, and my co-host is Sonia Latch, and
No, your co-host is me.
Well, today,
Your co-assistant.
today, my other co-host on the other end of town.
I don't want to get jealous of my own
Thursday
show.
night, is she when she does you made me just totally lost
know,
everything
I
I was
just see it,
thinking. I really do appreciate
You're just
that.
surrounding yourself with women.
Well, she
you know?
she took some healing classes way before she did Reiki,
Mm-hmm.
and they were pretty intense and they were pretty directive on healings. But she said once she took Reiki, it amplified it tenfold. So Reiki is like a catalyst. For me, Reiki's been a catalyst to other modalities.
Right.
With Reiki, I was strictly Reiki for 2.5 years. That's all I did was Reiki. And then suddenly it's like, okay, so you can do this now?
Mm-hmm.
Because Reiki has taken you to that level. The more practice, the more you practice Reiki, the more you do Reiki, the sharper your skills become, the sharper you become, the higher your vibration goes up, and pretty soon you're doing other modalities with ease.
I learned, I guess it was hands-on healing. That's what they called it in those days. We have a caller. All right. That's 2, Wayne.
Hey, let it
Hi,
go.
this is Lainey. Who am I talking to?
Hi, you're talking to Gwyneth.
Hi,
Gwyneth.
Gwyneth.
Hey, babe.
How are you doing?
Excellent. Thanks for calling. You're saving me. Keep going.
He thinks he's going to get brownie points or something because he's had 2 callers.
These are my life for now. Gwyneth just graduated Reiki 2 on Sunday.
Oh, is that She's one of the pictures
She's
in the
one of
picture
the
that I
pictures,
saw.
yep.
Congratulations,
She's one
Gwyneth.
of the pictures.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Tell your story.
Well, I decided to call in to tell how I found Reiki. I came to Reiki. I had an episode where I had Bell's palsy about 2 years ago, and Bell's palsy, for people that don't know, give a lot of features like a stroke, a person that had a stroke. Mm-hmm. So it's like a real scary event that happens where one side of your face you're having weakness and your eyes might not be able to close. You have slurred speech. They really don't know what causes it. They say that it could be stress and allergies mixed together.
I thought it was a virus, or am I thinking of Graves' disease?
Yeah, Graves' disease.
Okay.
No, this is where you.
I've known
it is
people
a
that
small stroke where half the face drops.
Yeah. I've had friends that have had it. Go ahead, Gwyneth.
So it's very scary when you get it, and it just comes on out of nowhere. Like that morning, I went off to work, and in the middle of the day, I could just tell that my speech was slurred, my eye was just drying out. And I went to the emergency room, and they said, there's nothing we can do but give you medication for 1 week. You might have it for 3 months. You might have it for 6 months. You might have it for a year. It might not leave.
That's scary.
So it wasn't very much hope coming from the doctors, which a lot of times it's not talking to them. So I wanted to find something to be able to help myself at that point. So I started Googling and listening to different podcasts that I would listen to. I just believed that it was something that could help me. And I've always been a very spiritual person, so I was, asking God for direction for that, to open up healing for my face and to put me in the right direction so I can get help. Well, it was a lady that I listened to podcast. She was always talking about Reiki and energy healing, but I didn't know what it was. So I gave her a call, and this lady lives out in Florida. And I explained my situation to her and asked her, do you think Reiki can help me? She said, most definitely. I can't promise what will happen, but I definitely think it will help you. So we set up a time for distant healing, and it was just one heck of an experience because not knowing too much about it, I would hear her talk about it, but she really didn't get in depth of what it was like to receive Reiki or anything like that. But I took a chance on it, and she instructed me that when I would come, have time just to rest, to lay down, and she would send the distant healing, and it was just like a command because she would send it by a chi ball, and when that chi ball would open up, it felt like I had two people on me massaging my face and arm and everything, and within a week's time, my face was already shifting.
Wow, that's great.
And so my eye, where I couldn't close it, I was able to close my eye, my mouth, the speech came back together, and it was a horrible ringing. You can have a ringing sound in your ear that's very, irritating with the Bell's palsy, and that all went away too. So after that, I searched for a Reiki circle in Las Vegas, found one on Meetup, and ever since I just been stuck with Reiki.
You've been stuck with Wayne. She was stuck with you.
Reiki 1, Reiki 2.
Reiki 1 and 2. Yeah, I saw that. Well, congratulations. I saw that picture.
Yeah, great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. And Wayne is one of the people in town that if I wanted a Reiki treatment, he's one of the people I would go to.
Yeah.
And I'm very picky. Just know that.
No.
That's just because we have Sonia as our sidekick over there.
That's
and
right.
She's our brains.
Well, thanks. Did you have a question or anything? But I love it. Thank you for sharing your experience.
No
yeah,
questions.
he needs
I
to be
don't have
tested.
anything. Wayne and Sonia are wonderful teachers and instructors, and I'm just so happy that I met them and we connected together. Just wonderful mentors.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in taking Reiki, look up Sonia and Wayne. Definitely come to the center. Come out on Thursday to the Reiki Circle. It's just a wonderful place. It just feels like home.
Yeah.
It is family.
Great. Thanks for calling,
Thanks,
Gwyneth.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Wayne.
Thanks,
Happy
Gwyneth.
birthday.
Bye.
Bye. She called me up this morning, her son, her daughter, and they sung me happy birthday on the way to school.
Oh, that's cool. That's way cool.
Yeah.
So you're an Aries, huh?
I'm an Aries.
Yeah. Well, And the new moon. The new moon was just in Aries.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it rocked and rolled.
Man,
there was a lot of people that were confused that would call me up and would say this week, wow, there's so much chaos and I don't know what to do next and I want to do something but I don't know what it is and I just want to sit. What should I do? And I'd say, let me think about this. Just sit.
Yeah, let me sit for a second. I tell you, hold on.
Yeah. So it's a dynamic time. If anybody's experienced something where they feel like they have more energy than they wanted or they feel scrambled, that seems to be the two things that people are feeling right now.
Yeah, I think I was scrambled. I was like
Yeah.
too many directions at one time and not knowing which direction to go.
Yeah, I
That's
was
kinda
watching.
how it hit me.
Yeah. So I just sat down and watched Star Trek. That was fine. That worked.
yeah,
That helped
great.
me. Yeah. I think that it's important. What she said is that it can be so daunting when you get a diagnosis or you get a label that makes you feel like I don't know what I can do now.
Right.
And I think that being curious. I think that being curious and being willing to trust. I mean, there's that openness that we were talking about
Yeah.
again.
No, that's
Yeah,
Gwyneth.
that you need to have that, and
Yeah.
you have to be open to it, and it's not going to hurt anything. Reiki is not going to hurt anything.
It cannot hurt
It
you.
is a form of energy healing that's tapping into the universal energy that surrounds us all.
It is just white light.
It will go where it needs to go. It will do what it needs to do.
Every single time.
Yeah. So
no matter how much I tell all my Reiki 1s and 2s, it's intention.
Yeah, it is.
We
intention.
can't screw it up. There's nothing we can do to hurt Reiki.
Well, you can stop it by getting your ego in the way.
Well,
we were talking
ego
about
can definitely step
Yeah,
in the way.
yeah,
You know, you can get too big, and
The minute you start, it's interesting. The minute I hear people talking about, well, I am a Reiki master, and I am doing this, and I hear it more. It keeps building on itself. Then
Right.
I step back and go, do you understand what you're doing? And they say, oh well, and they'll give me a definition out of a book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's different. Or doubt yourself. Either way, you can either think too much of yourself, or you can flip the coin and you can doubt.
Yeah.
And doubt will do it as well.
Although Reiki will still work with stout, it'll still
yeah.
go out there because Reiki's Reiki.
You
If
might
it's in your
just get
hand-
a pipe like this, though, instead of one
that's
like
what
this.
I say. You're either
know?
going to be a 3 Reiki healer or you're going to be a 10 Reiki
Right.
healer. It's
Right.
up to you.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Now, the interesting thing about it is there are. I think I've showed you the book. There's Reiki and shamanism work together very, very well.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah. And the reason being is because there's a fine line between it. The difference between the two, where we both have to be open. We both have to be in shamanism. We call it a hollow bone. We have to be a hollow bone. We have to have the pipeline clear. Where it's about being a channel so that energy can come through. The next step in shamanism is that we are going to the other side of reality. We are actually going over to that energy outside of time and space.
Yes.
To get information, to bring it back, and to do a deep healing on that. This morning I just worked on someone that I went back 18 generations and removed a curse.
Wow.
That started. But I went with the intention of, I knew what she wanted to heal. She was feeling like she couldn't be in the moment. She was feeling like, relationship-wise, she just wanted to create something different than what she had created before. And she kept feeling as she kept creating the same thing over and over, which we tend to do in relationships
definitely do
anyway.
that.
Because the wound inside is calling out.
Yes.
And when I went to Spirit and they said what we need to do, we're going to do a process called a soul retrieval. And something in our conversation made my ears perk up, like you saw happen that last time I was at your place. And I went, guess what? Something else is sticking its head up here that wants to be fixed, wants to go to the light, wants to be something, wants to evolve to the next level. And checked with Spirit, and sure enough, they said, it's up. Let's take it now. So we did. So it was like 18 generations. We went back
That's
and
a
pulled
long
this
ways
thing
back.
out, and it's the process of healing, the process of removing a curse or a thought form is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's been there for a long, long time, and so that's where shamanism and Reiki is different, but they are so closely intertwined. You could do it really easy, which is why it keeps calling you, Wayne. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! I'm going to be heading that direction. Yep.
Right. If you were going to recommend, somebody came and asked you, and I'm sure they do, about Reiki, where would you start? How would you, what would you suggest? Somebody said, I heard about Reiki. I think it's something I might want to do. Where do I start?
You start by coming to a Reiki circle so you can get the feel of the energy, so you can see what you're wanting to learn.
Okay, so in a Reiki circle,
In
describe a Reiki circle.
Okay, it's exactly what you're looking at. It's a circle. And what we do in my particular Reiki circle, now all Reiki circles are different. Some of them, they just wander around the room and you get worked on by 4, 5, 6 different people.
So are people sitting in a chair?
People, thanks. This is just not quite described it the way you want, huh? Okay.
I'm going to get it the way I want it. I'm a control freak. So go
Okay,
ahead.
so the practitioners are standing behind you while you're sitting in a chair. At my center, you're sitting in a purple chair.
Oh, good. I like that.
So
I like the
you're
purple chair.
sitting in the chair, and then we're going to put on some meditation music, and that's what we do. And we let somebody else in the on the CD will walk you through the meditation while we work on you. Mm-hmm. First thing we do is we put symbols in the room, and then we first ask you the question, can we touch you, and that type of thing, because we can be hands on or hands off. With Reiki, it doesn't matter. If you say no, I prefer not to be touched, we're 3-4 inches off you. It doesn't matter to us. We're good either way.
Now, it's my understanding with the licensing here, and licensing is different everywhere.
Right.
Okay, is that in Nevada it's hands off.
Okay, it's hands on, but when you put your hands like on their shoulders, you can't slide down to their elbow. That's massage.
Okay, so
You have to lift your hand off and touch their elbow.
okay, that's
Or
interesting.
lift your hand off, touch their head, to open their chakra. Everything has to be a movement.
Yeah, and part of that is because of the prostitution laws. This is no holds barred radio, so we can say whatever we want.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, the prostitution laws in this
Yes.
in Nevada,
So-
because it is legal in certain counties.
Yeah, we just can't slide, because once you slide, you're now massaging.
Yeah.
And if somebody's there, you can be arrested.
And the reason I keep asking you for details is because with the mind, I always look at things, try to look at with the mind of a child who's never seen it before. So when you say a circle, I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, so they're literally set a circle, and then we're going to put our hands on your shoulders if you say we can, and we're going to look at you breathing so that we can breathe right with you. And we already have our protection on, and we already have our symbols in our hands, and we're already symboled the room, so everything's protected.
And you're meaning energetic protection.
Energetic protection,
Right.
yes. Boy, I just don't have this down yet, do I?
You will. You're a pro. You're almost a pro. By the end, we'll have you initiated, and he's going to have his own show here. There we go.
We start with opening up your chakras, so we'll put our hands on, and we usually get an energetic tap that tells us if they're open or not. If it's like nothing happening up there, then you want to go in and clean it and open it. And we'll do that in all 7 of your chakras. Your 7 chakras are your crown chakra is your 7th chakra, and we go backwards. Your 6th is your third eye. That's right between your brows. Your 5th is your throat chakra. Your 4th is your heart. And then your 3rd is your solar plex. And then your 2nd is your sacral chakra, which is like 4 inches below your belly button. And then your root chakra is right at your tailbone. So we go through and we open all those up first. And then we go and we put our hands on your right shoulder and your right hand so that we run energy up and down that arm. Then we go to the left arm and then the hips and the legs. And we scan your body. Our hands become like a scanner. And we scan looking for a tap. For me, it's a cold tap. If I find something that's wrong, it's usually cold. Other people, it's a warm tap. It's a vibration. It could be, it's up to you. It does, because it's Reiki doesn't mean it's specifically one. But for me, it's cold taps. And then we can open that up. We can clean it and we can open it. And you could feel several things. You can feel tingling. You could feel heat. You could feel nothing. You can feel vibration.
Cold, you can feel
cold. You can feel many.
anything.
You could feel something or nothing, but it's all working. Reiki's always working. But if you were coming, you wanted to try Reiki, you want to see what it's about, you come to a circle first. And that's what I did. I went to a circle, and after about the 5th time in that circle, I said, I'm ready for Reiki 1. I want to see this. I want to learn this.
And it calls to you, like anything else.
It does call. You don't take it if you're not getting a calling because your friend's taking it.
Yeah,
It
no,
won't.
that
It
won't
won't
work.
be. It won't work.
That won't
It's
work.
just not good for you.
Although you can, if a friend drags you to a circle, Spirit will get you there in many ways.
Circle, yeah, if you get dragged to a circle, you're there for a reason. When you walk in that door, the healing starts. You came
So
there.
at Spiritus Reiki Center, which is on 3300 Sunrise Avenue,
Suite 102.
Suite 102.
89101. in
Right.
case you want to.
And that's the 95 in South Charleston.
It is 95 in South Charleston.
And
Yes.
so if you're coming from the north, after you, it's Eastern, and then it's Charleston. If you're coming from the south, it's the Boulder exit, and then it's Charleston.
Right.
Right, yeah, it
Right.
comes off of there.
It's just
So you're having something Thursday night. You have one every Thursday night?
every Thursday, Reiki Circle from 6:30 to about 8:30, give or
Okay.
take. We do an hour of talking, introducing, and figuring out, what your intentions were and why you're there. And everybody has a story about something else, so you don't have to worry. If you don't want to say a word, don't say a word. We're good with that too.
And it's growing too. You started out with just a handful, right?
We started out with about 6 to 8. We
And
now
now?
have 33 to 36.
And where do you put them in that room?
We're
They're
cozy.
stacked.
We stand on laps.
They're
and
stacked.
We're on the floor. We're everywhere. But we're putting okay, guys, nobody's out there to laugh. We're putting a 20 by 20 tent that I've been working on now for about 6 weeks. That I've got half the warehouse cleaned behind me.
Wow, I'm impressed. The last time I saw it, it was full.
It's still full.
Okay.
I'm just telling them that.
Okay.
And so we're putting a 20 by 20 tent up. So half my center is offices. The other half is the warehouse. So
Right.
we're switching it over and putting 20 by 20 tent, and then we'll be able to seat about 50 people out there, and we'll be very comfortable.
That's good. That's perfect. Spirit Us Reiki Center.
Spiritist Reiki.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm out there tomorrow night.
I was going to say, we have something going tomorrow. I couldn't
That'd be
remember
me.
what it was. Oh,
That
yeah,
would
that's
be
what
me.
it was. And I understand it might be a really large turnout. I've heard from a lot of people that are coming. That
Well, I've
normally
got
don't
some
come.
people coming too.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good turnout.
Wow, that's cool. What we're gonna talk about, because I had Sonia just keep reposting, which is the shamanic healing circle. But what it's going to be about is reclaiming your power.
Nice.
Yeah, especially in this energy shift that we're having, because with the new moon, it was a super moon, with the solar eclipse, with the spring equinox, it is the perfect time for new beginnings. And many people, usually at the bottom of all emotional turmoil, there's two things. It's either I feel powerless or I feel like I'm not good enough.
Yep.
Either one. And so we're going to start a process. I'm going to do a circle and we do some journeys. I try not to talk much.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Yeah, okay. And every once in a while, things pop up that you don't plan on.
There you
that
go.
you end up doing some kind of healing work. So that's going to be from 7 to 9.
That'll be from 7 to 9.
7 to 9 tomorrow night at Spirit Us Reiki Center, 3300 Sunrise Avenue, Suite
And
102.
I just want to make one more point before we go.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for to learn Reiki 1, when you go to visit a Reiki master and you're asking them, what do you do? Make sure that they teach you how to put on your protection so that you can't pick up my diseases or anybody else's pains and diseases. We put on a spiritual glove. Also, make sure that they teach you how to do hands-on healings in a circle so that you know how to do your friends and neighbors that you're going to come over. You don't always have to lie them on a bed. We do it on the chair. Make sure they do these things, because a lot of them aren't doing that out there.
That's right.
They're not teaching all of
That's
this.
right.
They're in
And when he's talking
saying,
about
"Good luck."
protection, it's energetic protection, so that you don't energetically pick up that spiritual quality that goes along with some kind of disease.
Right,
You don't
or an
want it.
arm ache. You can be, if
Right.
somebody's got a big wrist ache and you go doing it, suddenly your wrists start hurting.
That's right.
If you have these energetic gloves, and you'll feel these energetic gloves on your hands, you'll know they're there. And when you get into it for a little bit, you close your eyes, you'll actually see fire on those things with the energy around it. You'll be able to see it. So I just want to make that point real quick, that be careful.
Yeah, and Spirit Us has a meetup. You can go to meetup.com.
We have a meetup.com. We also have a Reiki 1 class April 4th. So if you're interested in getting into a Reiki 1, we do have a class coming up.
Okay.
And then we'll have a Reiki 2, then another Reiki 1, and then we're going into Reiki 2 and then 3.
And then on May 16th and 17th, I'm going to be out there for a 2-day workshop, beginning
Really?
shamanism. Yeah.
Did you tell me?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you said you're coming.
I'm in. I'm in it.
You're
I'm
in.
all over it.
Beginning shamanism. Well, first day we'll learn how to journey for ourselves. And people that have come to the healing circles, I'm giving them a discount if they've come to 3.
Yes.
They can come, like you can come.
I do qualify.
Yeah, he qualified. I already pre-qualified him. And the second day is how to journey for other people, which has to do, there's a whole set of ethics that goes with journeying for other people when
Very
you learn
cool.
it from me.
If you've
Very
never
important.
taken one of these shamanic journeys, you just have to come out and try it. It's a love donation, and she will take you to places sometimes that you always go somewhere.
Yeah, I loved it
And-
last time when he was explaining something that was going on and he didn't even take a breath. He just looked at me and said, "So what do you got?" I loved it.
Yep.
So phone number that they can call.
702-810-3354, and that's directly to my cell.
Okay. And I'm Leni Risto. My phone number is 702-308-8464. I have a site called shamanicsong.com. It's on Facebook. Soul Chat, we have our own YouTube channel. You can go there, go to youtube.com, put in Soul Chat LV, spaces between Soul and Chat and LV. You can see all our shows back to May. We'll be back next week. Las Vegas Psychic Mary Rose is going to be here. She and I are going to talk about the full moon this week. If you're at your wit's end, if you've tried everything, call Spirit Us Reiki Center. Give Reiki a try. Be open. Wayne always is happy to talk to you. He's always inviting. I don't think you ever have a bad day, do you?
No. Well, I don't talk about
Stop.
it anyway. Yeah,
Stop.
I gave
never.
You a
good tee up there.
Yeah, no, never.
All right. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Holding on to things that might have been, knowing that this day will never come.